In 11a, what I wanted to see is if you could remember how to do the transformations on one of your parent graphs. Our parent function that we're working with is y equals x squared. Its parent function control points that I would use would be a -2 gives you a 4, -1 gives you a 1, 0 gives you 0, and 1 gives you 1, and 2 gives you a 4. Just plugging in the x values in here, calculating y values, that's what you'd have. And that graph would look like this: 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 4, using symmetry or plugging in the other ordered pairs. This is what our parent function would look like. Now really what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to use our transformation ideas, and our transformation idea would say that this is inside the grouping symbol, so it has to move it horizontally. Everything inside of a grouping symbol is a horizontal transformation. Since it's subtraction, it's going to be a translation. If you remember, the horizontals are always a little counterintuitive, so rather than being 2 units to the left, we go 2 units to the right. And then the 3 is on the outside of the grouping symbols, so that means we've got to transform it by a vertical translation by going 3 units down. So we should get a graph that ends up looking a lot like this. Okay, so how do we get those ordered pairs and generate them? And one of the ways that I showed you is by changing your ordered pairs in your parent function. So since this was a horizontal and we know it's going to move it 2 units to the right, what we do is we add 2 to all these. So instead of a -2 plus 2 is a 2. -1 plus 2 is a 1. 0 plus 2 is a 2, and we add 2, and we add 2. This -3 is a y, so we got to change our y coordinates, so we don't want these to stay the way they are. We want to make sure that we subtract 3 from each of these. So we're subtracting 3 from those, we're adding 2 to the x's, and that'll be our new ordered pair. So 4 minus 3 is 1, 1 minus 3 is a -2, 0 minus 3 is a -3, 1 minus 3 is a -2, and 4 minus 3 is a 1. So I should see the ordered pairs 4, 1. Give a little bit better color for that graph. 4, 1, 3, -2, so 3, -2, and 2, -3, and 1, -2, and then 2, 1. What am I looking at? I didn't do a very good job of adding it. That's 0, 1. So make that correction. I didn't do a very good job of adding. That's a -2 plus 2, which is 0. So that's the ordered pair 0, 1. And now that's the shape of my new graph. Okay, which should match, if I move it 2 to the right and down 3, pretty good match for that. Just depending on how accurate I was drawing my picture. So there's 11a.